Hello, my friend. I got a question for you. Have you ever heard something that just made you shout, made you high five, hoot, and holler, and you really celebrated? I remember when my daughter called me and said, "Dad, I got my driver's license." It was a little bit harder for her. We all just celebrated, man. Way to go, kiddo. I remember one time one of my friends, a close friend from college, his wife had complications in labor and delivery, and we were all so worried. Every prayer chain, we finally got the call from the hospital. Mom and baby are fine. In fact, they're perfect. And I can remember literally doing a dance. One that happened to me recently. I have a really close friend. His daughter sick with a very, very difficult type of cancer. And we were literally together when he got the call. And his daughter said, "Dad, I just got the report from the doctor. I'm cancer free." We laughed, we high-fived, and then we cried. And then we laughed, and then we cried. And then we celebrated, and then we just praised God. We just praised God. What does it mean to be a person who's open to good news? Well, it really means two things. It means, number one, you understand the bad news. And it means, number two, your heart has faith that God can come through. You don't just accept the bad news, you have faith that God can come through. This is really what it means to be a person of the gospel. Gospel is an overused word. It's a kind of religious word, but it's a very important word. It's an Old Testament word and a New Testament word, and it is the main theme of the Apostle Paul's life. We're going to study Romans all spring and summer here at Bayside, but I want you to look at just one verse and let it prepare your heart for Easter. Here's the verse, the Apostle Paul, Romans 1, verse 16, "For I'm not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew and then to the Gentile." Let's break it down. So he says, first of all, I'm not ashamed of the good news. What is this? It's a word called euangelion. It means gospel or good news. Eu means like in eulogy. It means a good message about someone's life. It means it sounds good. It comes off the lips as sounding right. And angelion means to receive a message. Just like angel. Angels are messengers. This is the opposite of that, or the other side of that, where we are receiving the message. So it's a good message that we receive. And then he says, because it brings salvation. That's the bad news part. We need saving. And you can't really understand how good the good news is. You can't celebrate the good news unless you own the bad news. We are lost. We are sinful. We are prideful. We are war-prone and cruel. And left to our own devices, we'll spend eternity apart from our Creator. We are utterly, utterly lost until Jesus came. Until Jesus came, died on the cross, and removed every obstacle between you and your Creator. Man, when you know the bad news and you understand what Jesus did, that's when real joy comes into your life. This Easter, I'm going to ask you to do two things. Number one, prepare your own heart. Look at how lost our world is, and look at even how broken your own heart is. And then number two, open it up to the good news. Open it wide. Have faith that even in our brokenness, our war-torn, lost world, God still wants to have a message that sounds like victory, because it is victory. Oh, and one more thing. Not just prepare your heart, bring someone to church with you. This Easter, we are going to speak and preach and sing and live the good news. And your life could be changed, and the life of a loved one could be changed if you'll open yourself to the good news.